Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Bobcat Corner Live. And to basically describe what just happened last night, midweek action, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys saw it on ESPN2. This one hurt. To describe this in a nutshell, this one hurts. And this one hurt because this was a very disappointing performance. So we're just going to get right into it here very soon. And basically, to describe it to you guys, it's like I don't, at this point of the season, at this point in the regular season, I don't have the kind of energy to get really that upset about what I'm seeing. But I will point out how disappointing it is to see these kinds of performances play out the way that they do, especially what happened last night. So let's get into it. Let's go through it quarter by quarter, individual stats, and then of course I'll give you my um, candid, real thoughts about this. Anyway, first quarter, and for the record, there was snow in Kalamazoo on this night, last night, and there were like up to 30 mile per hour winds apparently. It didn't really show it, but that's what they said. So anyway, first quarter, we were driving early in the first quarter, but then Parker Navarro threw an interception very early in the game, 12 minutes, 26 seconds ago, 12 and a half minutes ago, basically, to Tate Halleck. He was one of the guys on defense for Western Michigan that I warned about, that I was pointing out in my preview on Bobcat Corner episode 70. Got to be mindful of people like Tate Halleck. Well, he picked it off. He read the route so cleanly, so clearly. Parker Navarro was apparently staring down his receiver, which was Chase Hendricks, I believe. Tate Halleck, to his credit, he read it clearly like a book, and he took the interception. So that was not good. The only thing, reassuring about that was that we did not give up a touchdown. Then that was only a field goal that we ended up giving up. Our defense held up in response to that. So it was like Palmer Domschke, hope I'm saying his name right, the kicker for Western Michigan. He kicked that 46-yard field goal for Western Michigan, go up 3-0 with 10 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. Okay, so we didn't get hit too badly at the start. So later on in the first quarter, we were driving again down the field. We were trying to call a running plays. We were trying to mix and match with the play calling, which I got to get into at the end here because there are some not so good feelings I have right now about the play calling from what our coaching staff is doing right now. But anyway, we were driving down the field this next time, and with 1 minute 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, Parker Navarro had a 2-yard touchdown run. It was really a busted up play. It was a play action RPO fake. Um, Between him and Duncan Brune. Duncan Brune apparently, uh, misread the assignment. He went a different way that he should have went, and Parker Navarro was kind of confused by that. Thankfully, he can improvise. Thankfully, Parker Navarro can improvise. And hold on a minute, my phone is going off. I apologize, guys. Okay, yeah, that was not planned. Anyway, Parker Navarro had a 2-yard touchdown run to make it 7-3 Bobcats. So, that was good. Don't get me wrong, that was good. So we went up. We went up 7-3. But the general feeling that I had coming out of the first quarter and the first half in general was that, yeah, we're winning the game, but we're not really winning it. We we don't have this feeling that we're in control of this game. And that takes me back to our game on the road at Muncie, Indiana, against the Ball State Cardinals. This reminded me so much of the Ball State game. The feeling of it. It's like, yeah, we're up, but we don't feel like we're in control. It's that same feeling I had against Ball State that I had here against Western Michigan, and it's just unfortunate. So let's just go to the second quarter for scoring here. Um, there were certain plays, not scoring plays, but certain plays that really dictated the pace of the game. Converted by Western Michigan, of course. There was a 4th and 7 play call by Western Michigan. They decided to go for it, and they converted. It was a pass play. It was a dump off pass play that they converted on 4th and 7. It was like a 10-yard gain to get to first down. It's plays like that that just did not put me in a good mood because stuff like that, it's one thing if you give up something on like 4th and 2, 4th and 3, but when you get to 4th down and 7 yards to go or even longer than that, it gets to a point where I'm like, why can't you guys clamp down at that very moment and finish the opposing offense off and get the ball back? I've seen this break down all year long, here and there, and it bothers me. The entire process of this just bothers me. A clear drop off compared to last year when it comes to approach, when it comes to mentality. Going to get into that again at the end of this. Um, so yeah, 4th and 7 play, for example, in the second quarter, Western Michigan converted on that. Okay. So they attempted a 26-yard field goal, which was missed. It was like a doink, deflected off the goalpost. 8 minutes 49 seconds to go in the second quarter when that happened. So they missed the field goal, even though they had a big drive. Um, and then it was like a 4th down and 1 that Western Michigan tried to go for, and they failed to convert that. Brock Lowry, who I'm going to talk about a lot later on here, their quarterback, Brock Lowry, he attempted to go for that quick run on 4th and 1 to get that first down, did not convert on it. We stopped him on that. 3 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the second quarter. Turnover on downs there. So there were flashes here and there. There were bits and pieces where we were like, okay, we're starting to do certain things on defense that are good. Okay, it was definitely like a hit or miss kind of thing in this game, back and forth. Sometimes we were doing good. Sometimes we were doing good on defense, and that was one of them. But I could tell as the game went on, especially late in the second quarter, I got this feeling that Western Michigan was dictating the pace of the game, and that was just not a good feeling. And it took me back to how I felt when we played Ball State earlier this year. That's pretty much mirror image, almost the same kind of feeling. And I'm like, yeah, we're up 7-3, but we're not acting like it. I'm just being honest with you guys. And the play calling, going to get onto it separately. The play calling was very inconsistent and questionable, and certain play calls on offense I just did not agree with at all throughout the game. Going to talk about that. So, yeah, so we get to the second half. So we get to the second half. We get to Western Michigan just driving. Brock Lowry punched in a 1-yard touchdown run. That was with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. It was like a long drive that Western Michigan was pulling off here. Let me see what I got on my note card here. 8 plays for 69 yards. Yeah, 8 plays, 69-yard drive. And yeah, so they went up 10-7. So there you go with that. And then we get to, for us on offense, we get to a 4th down and 3-yard situation, 3 yards to go situation where Parker Navarro gets a 10-yard run to convert it. Okay, 3 minutes to go. But it was just really a back and forth kind of game, guys. It's hard for me to describe this. Some things we did well, other things we did not. But again, it felt like Western Michigan was just dictating the pace of the game, for most of it. And it just didn't feel good. It just didn't feel right. So when we get to the late third quarter, entering the fourth quarter, we then get to a long, which was good, which was impressive on our part, Ohio's offense. A long 17 play, 83-yard touchdown drive. C.A. Bangura punched it in for 3 yards out, 3-yard touchdown run, 14 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. But it would only make it 13-10, 6 points because missed PAT kick by David Dellenbach. And for the record, I'm not going to put everything on David Dellenbach for that. I mean, yes, he missed the kick, but it goes well beyond him. It goes well beyond the kicker at this point, guys. I mean, I already know how I feel about the kicking situation for this team. I'm not going to get into it again here. Most likely, we're probably going to look at getting a new kicker this upcoming offseason. I won't be surprised if we do. But I'm not going to put all this on David Dellenbach. It's just the feeling that I get throughout this team that there's something internally going on here. 13-10, we were up, we were winning, but it did not feel like it. Sometimes when it comes to body language, when it comes to just the mentality of things, you kind of sense it. When you were watching that game last night, you were kind of sensing it. It's like, yeah, the Bobcats are up, but they're not really up. You know what I mean? Western Michigan had the momentum throughout this game. It felt like a Western Michigan kind of game. I'm being honest with you guys. And again, I'm not even angry at this point. I'm not even upset. What's there to be upset about? You kind of expect some things like this to happen. And but what really got me going towards the end of this game was that, okay, we're up 13-10, up by a field goal. We could still pull this out. Again, similar feelings to the Ball State game. But then a simple dump off pass from Brock Lowry to Tyleik Williams, which was behind the line of scrimmage at the start. But then everything just opened up for Williams. I know we had at least 3 or 4 guys that were right on Tyleik Williams to make that tackle, and we did not do it. We did not complete the tackle. None of those guys were able to just simply wrap up and tackle Tyleik Williams down. That's all they had to do, and they did not do it. And then, of course, the other 7 guys on defense couldn't get to him because he was like turning the corner. He switched directions, and then he just took it 71 yards. And that set up right after a Jalen Buckley 3-yard touchdown run right after that with 13 minutes, 43 seconds to go to make it 17-13, and that would be your final score. And I'm just going to put it up here, even though I got other things to discuss here. 17-13 Western Michigan over Ohio. That is your final score. Even though certain actions still happened in the fourth quarter, like Western Michigan drove again. They missed another field goal, 37-yard field goal attempt with 2 minutes to go in the game. Missed that again. So here is a situation where Western Michigan attempted 2 field goals, and they missed 2 field goals. Attempted 3, missed 2. Still won. On third down, on offense, on third down, Western Michigan attempted to convert on third down 8 times, did not convert a single time on third down. 0 of 8 on third down for Western Michigan on offense, but still they won the game. Tell me what that's about, guys. Just really tell me what that is about when it comes to mentality, when it comes to understanding the situation of the game. Our team did not understand it. Our team did not understand it this time around compared to last week. It was just night and day. And it's hard for me to put into words. It just is. To give Western Michigan credit, and I'm going to have to give Western Michigan credit, they're the team that won the game. Western Michigan is no joke. As I said on Bobcat Corner episode 70, they have a great defense, probably a championship level defense at this point. They're no joke. It seems like they were running a 2-4-5 kind of defense, which is kind of rare in college football, but that's what they run. They run so many different kinds of looks on defense, and they're dangerous. They have guys that can just get to the quarterback, and they did. They got to Parker Navarro. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about here very soon about Parker Navarro. But yeah, with Western Michigan on defense, James Camden, I mentioned him on Bobcat Corner 70. He had 10 tackles for this game. Jarvarius Sims, I mentioned him too. He had 6 tackles for this game. And then Micah Davis, he was a guy I did not mention, but he showed up in this game for Western Michigan. He had 6 tackles as well. Just a lot of pressure Western Michigan brought on defense. I saw that clearly when watching this game. Western Michigan is for real, especially their defense. They're for real. Offense, their offense needs some work, but their defense is excellent, in my opinion. I mean, just ask Ball State. They destroyed Ball State, some weeks back. But yeah, Western Michigan is no joke, and I won't be surprised if it is Western Michigan that we have to face in the MAC championship game if we get back there. And in that sense, it kind of feels like Miami of Ohio last year, where we lost to Miami of Ohio. We had to regroup, and then we had to face them again in Detroit. It could be that kind of situation again, this time Western Michigan. So we'll see. But anyway, about Western Michigan, I'm going to start getting to separate banners here to describe to you guys what I feel happened and what I think just went wrong for us. Starting with this. We failed to contain Brock Lowry. This was the number one key that I pointed out on Bobcat Corner episode 70. Contain Brock Lowry. We should have known what he was going to do. Designed quarterback keeper runs for this guy. Everyone in the stadium in Kalamazoo knew what was going to happen when Western Michigan lined up with 5 wide receivers, with Brock Lowry being the only guy in the backfield. That's when he likes to do it. That's when he likes to run. And of course, he did it pretty much every time. He ran it, and we had no answer for him. He did what he wanted to do, and we did not generate enough pressure to get to him. And again, credit to Western Michigan's offensive line for that, to get push. But when you know who has the ball, just like with any running back, when you know who has the ball, in this case, Brock Lowry, the quarterback, get to him. Don't second guess it, just get to him. And we just did not do it. You knew he was going to run the ball, and you didn't get to him. It's not rocket science. What I'm talking about here, guys, it's not rocket science. You knew he had the ball, and you didn't get to him, plain and simple. So, and yes, he did pass the ball. Brock Lowry, for the record, as a passer, 9 of 14 for 126 yards passing. So Brock Lowry can sling it, but he loves to run. You should have known that. Bobcats defense, you should have known that. And for running for the game, Brock Lowry, he had 18 rushes for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. That's what Brock Lowry did to us. When you know you have an opposing quarterback that has that kind of capability, you have to find a way to take that away from him. Otherwise, he's going to make you pay like Brock Lowry just did. So it is what it is there. And then for the running game as well for Western Michigan, Jalen Buckley, 14 rushes for 82 yards. Pretty good game for him too. So just certain things, certain keys of the game that we just did not achieve. Time of possession was back and forth. Did not do so well there. Going to get to that in a minute. But just failed to contain Brock Lowry. Next time, if we have a next time to face this guy, we have to do a much better job of containing Brock Lowry. Otherwise, he's going to do this thing again to us. Anyway, speaking of quarterbacks, our quarterback, Parker Navarro, he looked rattled. I'm being honest with you guys. He looked rattled. 8 of 19 passes completed for Parker Navarro, 70 yards, 1 interception. On the ground, he was great. 18 rushes for 105 yards, 1 touchdown. On the ground, he was great. But in the air, he didn't have it. Parker Navarro, this was not one of his shining moments. He just looked rattled. And again, credit to Western Michigan's defense. They have a great defense. Don't get me wrong. They're legit. But when you know you're going up against a strong defense like this, you have to plan accordingly. And I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, but our coaching staff did not prepare Parker Navarro well enough for this game. They just didn't. And it showed. It showed in the game last night. Questionable play calling, which I'm going to get into here in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Parker. I know he's capable of doing more than this, but he looked rattled in this game. Uh, he was just off, and he's been off at times throughout this regular season, much to my surprise. I was hoping he was going to take a step up, a step forward this year compared to what he did last year. But there have been some times where it just hasn't happened for him, unfortunately. So 2 games to go for Parker Navarro in the regular season. Hopefully he gets it together because we're going to need him down the stretch here. And speaking of the coaching staff, incorrect play calling. I just don't know what it is. Sometimes, and I don't get this feeling for every game. When things are going well, things are going well. But when it comes to play calling in certain situations, especially on offense, and yes, our head coach Brian Smith, he does have those duties of overseeing the play calling on offense. So part of this is on him. The play calling on offense was inconsistent, and as you see here on the banner, it was incorrect. This was the kind of game, as I mentioned in the beginning, snow on the ground, 30-mile-per-hour winds, supposedly, very windy, cold environment. This was not the game to call for excessive passing. This was not the game that you call for Parker Navarro to sling it all over the place. This was just not that kind of game. This was the kind of game that you keep giving it to C.A. Bangura and Duncan Broom. That would that was the kind of game that we should have had in this game. We should have given it to C.A. Bangura at least 20 times. For the record, C.A. Bangura only had 16 rushes for 97 yards, 1 touchdown. And that's an interesting thing about C.A. Bangura, which has been brought up a lot on Bobcat Attack message boards. Uh, when he carries the ball 17 times at least, 17 or more carries, uh, the team is 6-0. But when C.A. Bangura has 16 or less carries, the team is 0-4. The stats don't lie. Just look it up. So, historically, in his last 2 seasons with Ohio, C.A. Bangura, when he has 17 or more carries, the team is 11-0. 11 wins, no losses when C.A. Bangura gets the ball for 17 or more carries. Look at the stats. So the play calling was not right. It just was not right in this game. Yes, we did give C.A. Bangura the ball, but we should have given him the ball more. This was that kind of game. Ground and pound, control of the clock, time of possession battle. We did not get that key either. We should have given it to CA more. We should have given it to Duncan Broom more. We should have let Parker Navarro run more. Not the kind of game where you call for Parker Navarro to pass it 20, 30 yards deep. Not that kind of game. Coaching staff, you got it wrong. Brian Smith, no disrespect to you and your coaching staff, but you got it wrong here. Just saying. Frustrated. Really frustrated by the play calling. Should not be happening. But anyway, on defense, before I forget, on defense for the Ohio Bobcats, Jack Freese, 11 tackles for him. Charlie Christopher, 7 tackles for him. I mean, there was some productivity on defense for the Bobcats, but at critical times when we needed the key tackles, we did not get it. So very inconsistent. So yeah, play calling for the coaching staff just incorrect, inconsistent, not good enough. Being honest. And speaking of the tackling, since I just mentioned it, our approach to tackling sucks. Let it sink in. It's just, I can't. This has been a problem all year long. In times where we just did not look good against opponents, our tackling has really suffered. And it showed again here with that 71-yard play late in the game. We had 3 or 4 guys that had an easy shot at Tyleek Williams, and none of them get him. And it's not just that play I'm singling out. It's that other times when we should have wrapped down the ball carrier or the receiver, and we did not do it. And this has been a recurring theme on defense when we're not doing so well there. Our approach to tackling sucks. And I'm calling out defensive coordinator John Hauser and his side of the staff. You guys have got to do something different about when you're telling your players to tackle. Whatever you're telling them, it's not right. The approach to tackling sucks. It needs to change ASAP because whatever you're telling them is not registering. It's not it's not carrying over. The message is not becoming clear to them. Our approach to tackling sucks. We need to change it ASAP. There, I said it. And here, another thing, another issue before I get to the bottom line here is this. On the road, we just don't get it. This was another opportunity for us to show that we were going to figure out some things on the road, and we didn't do it. Compared to how we play on at home, we play great at home. On Frank Soldier Field, we do great at home. But the moment we hit the road, the moment we take the bus or take the plane, it's like our brains just shut off. We forget how to play football and we do not comprehend what's going on around us. We have to do better on the road. We have to. We have to do better on the road. This is not good enough. We're now 1-4 on the road for the regular season. Not good enough. So I'm sorry, guys, but our mentality is not right. When we hit the road, our mentality is not right. And I just wish that we'd stop messing around when it comes to stuff like Instagram posts where it's like, oh, the Bobcats are, arriving in style, on the road. Well, instead of doing instead of like taking photos of how, good you look when you're coming off the bus or the plane, how about you get stuff done on the road? Change your mentality when you play on the road already. Can you please do it? On the road, we just don't get it. And I'm going to keep saying this until we do. Bottom line, I'm just going to get to the bottom line because I'm frustrated. I'm just not happy right now. We have to win the last two games. This makes it all the more important for us to close out, to finish this little gauntlet strong. We must win the last two games. Otherwise, we're not going to go to Detroit. We have like 2 games to go back home in Athens, Ohio to face UMass. That should be an easy win. But next up after that is the season finale on the road at Buffalo, New York, face the Buffalo Bulls. That becomes much more important. So really, I don't have much to say. I don't have much more to say. And hopefully things get fixed for us. We just have 2 more games to go. The bottom line, win the last 2 games or forget about Detroit. I'm making it clear and simple. Just disappointing. We're 6-4. It's not a bad record, but it could be better. So just, kind of speechless right now. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just going to get out of here because it's not something for me to talk about so much right now. Disappointing. Very disappointing this season. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Going to come back with more content soon enough. Be on the lookout for that, and take care, guys.